Hello, everyone. Just Frog It back for book 16 of our Advent calendar Disney books. If you've been liking this, please hit that thumbs up. Please subscribe down here at the bottom. And more, get notified when I go back on again. Just hit that bell button and click all so you can get notified when I do my next video. I've been trying to do them all at the same time. So 8:30 my time, which is Mountain Time, for each book up until Christmas Eve. And then Christmas Eve, after my last reading, I will have a special little live again after that, maybe an hour after that. So please stay tuned. Our small little town goes crazy at Christmas time, and I am going to show you what our rescue trucks and firefighters and all of that do, and the police for Christmas. And they did say they are going to do it this year as well, even during this COVID time. So let's get to book 16 and see what it is, and we'll be off and reading. Grab a family member, grab a drink, grab some snacks, grab a blanket, get comfortable, and let's see what book 16 is. Book 16. Da, 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 da. Oh, Beauty and the Beast. Okay, let's just fix the camera here a little bit. There we go. One of my favorites, Beauty and the Beast. Okay. Once upon a time, a selfish young prince refused to give an old beggar woman shelter in his castle. But the old woman was really an enchantress. As punishment, she turned the prince into a terrifying beast and cast a spell on everyone in the castle. Giving the beast a magic rose, she said, "This will bloom until your 21st year. If you learn to love another and earn that person's love before the last petal falls, the spell will be broken. If not, you will remain a beast forever." In a sleepy village nearby, an eccentric inventor named Maurice lived with his beautiful daughter, Belle. Gaston, a strong and handsome young man from the village, had decided that he wanted to make Belle his wife. After all, he told his friend Le Fou, "she's the best looking girl in town." Gaston arrived at Belle's house confident that Belle would agree to marry him. But when he asked her, Belle refused him without a second thought. She knew she could never marry someone as arrogant and selfish as Gaston. One day, Maurice set off for a fair with his latest invention. As night fell, he lost his way and had to seek refuge in the beast's castle. Maurice was welcomed by some friendly, enchanted servants, including a candelabra named Lumiere, a clock named Cogsworth, a teapot named Mrs. Potts, and her son, Chip, a teacup. But the beast was furious when he discovered a stranger in his house, and he threw Maurice into the dungeon. When Maurice's horse returned home alone, Belle set off at once to search for her father. "Oh, Papa," Belle cried when she found Maurice in the freezing dungeon, "we must get you out of here." Sensing danger, Belle turned around. There was the beast, towering over her and growling loudly. "Let my father go," pleaded. "I'll take his place here." The beast agreed at once. He dragged Maurice out of the cell and sent him back to the village. The beast showed Belle to her room. You can go anywhere in the castle, he told her, except the west wing. That is forbidden. Poor Belle was miserable. She missed her father and her home. The enchanted objects prepared a wonderful meal for her and tried to cheer her up with their singing and dancing. But Belle was still lonely, and later that night she wandered through the castle. She soon found herself in the west wing. There, among broken furniture and cracked mirrors, she found the magic rose, its petals drooping sadly. Just as Belle reached out to touch the rose, the beast burst in, howling with rage. Terrified, Belle ran out into the snowy night. Belle leapt onto her father's horse and set off blindly into the dark forest. Suddenly, she was surrounded by a pack of vicious, hungry wolves. Just as the wolves closed in for the kill, the beast appeared through the trees. Fighting bravely, he drove the wolves away. But then the beast sank to the ground in pain. The wolves had injured him. Belle knew she could not leave him there alone. She took the beast back to the castle and gently tended his bleeding wounds. He seemed quite different now, and she was no longer frightened of him. Meanwhile, at the village tavern, Gaston was still brooding over Belle, even though his friends did their best to cheer him up. Suddenly, the door burst open and Maurice raced in. "Help!" he cried. "Belle is being held prisoner by a monstrous beast." The men in the tavern burst out laughing. They thought Maurice was mad, but Gaston smiled to himself. He had thought of a way to make Belle marry him. He called a tall, sinister-looking man over to his table, and Gaston began to tell him what he had in mind. As the day passed, Belle and the beast spent more and more time together. The enchanted servants were delighted. They were certain that Belle would fall in love with their master and break the spell. But time was running out. Each day, more petals fell from the magic rose. One evening, after dinner and dancing together, the beast and Belle sat out on the terrace in the cool night air. "Are you happy here, Belle?" asked the beast. "Yes," Belle replied. "I just wish I could see my father again." "You can," said the beast, and he gave Belle a magic mirror. "This will show you whatever you wish." "Oh, thank you," exclaimed Belle. But as she gazed into it, Belle saw her father lost and trembling with cold as he searched for Belle. Although the beast loved Belle, he knew he had to let her go to her father. "Take the mirror with you," he said sadly, "so you can remember me." Belle set off from the castle and soon found Maurice. She brought him safely home and put him to bed. The next day, Gaston arrived at Belle's house with a crowd of villagers. He said that Maurice would be taken to an asylum unless Belle agreed to marry him. "My father's not mad," cried Belle. "He must be," said Le Fou. "He was raving about a monstrous beast." "The beast is real," cried Belle. "Look!" She held up the magic mirror, and the crowd saw the beast for themselves. They all shouted with fear and refused to listen when Belle told them the beast was kind and good. The men marched up to the castle doors and broke them down. Cogsworth led the enchanted servants in a brave defense of the castle. But the beast missed Belle and was too heartbroken to fight, even when Gaston beat him with a club and forced him onto the castle roof. Only when he heard Belle's voice Did the beast look up? You came back, he cried, rushing to embrace Belle. This was the chance Gaston had been waiting for. Drawing his dagger, he stabbed the beast in the back. But as the beast collapsed, Gaston tripped and fell, tumbling from the roof. Belle ran to the wounded beast and kneeled down to kiss him. The last petal was just about to fall from the rose. You can't die, sobbed Belle. I love you. I wish I had never left you alone. Suddenly, a magic mist surrounded the beast, and, before Belle's astonished eyes, he changed into the handsome young prince he had once been. One by one, the enchanted servants became human again, weeping with joy. They hugged each other as the prince swept Belle into his arms. The prince had found his true love at last, and the spell of the enchantress was broken. As the sun burst through the clouds, they knew they would all live happily ever after. The end of book 16 of Beauty and the Beast. Thank you so much for watching. Everybody have fun, and I will see you tomorrow night at the same time, 8:30 Mountain, for book 17. We have no idea what it is. I'm just as shocked when I open them as you are. So be safe. Love you all. Hugs. And have a good night. Bye, everybody.